Hello everyone. In this video we are going to see the experiment explanation related to microcontroller and embedded system laboratory. This is the fourth semester of VTU syllabus with subject code 18 CSL 48. Here we have two parts in the experiments. Part A experiment we have to conduct in software, that is writing a program using ARM7 instructions by using software tool. Keil software we are using for execution of part A programs. Part B program we have to use one evaluation board with evaluation software embedded C. Evaluation software is Keil with programming language is embedded C. Software is Keil and language is embedded C. But we have to use evaluation board for execution purpose. In the part A, don't need to use any evaluation board, just there is a software execution. We have to see the debugging answer. In this syllabus, part A software programs are there. We have totally 8 different programs. We have to write code for each of these aim of the experiment. This is aim of the experiment. Totally 8 questions they given. We have to write the answers. Write a program to multiply two 16-bit number and sum of first 10 integer numbers, factorial of number, add array of 16-bit number, square of a number, finding the largest and smallest number, arrange number in ascending or descending, and count number of zeros and ones in particular given number. These are the experiment given in part A. So in today's video lecture we are going to see overall explanation of each of these experiment. These are the hardware programs. Hardware programs we have total 8 programs. That is part B. For this we have to use embedded C program, and for this we have to use evaluation board, that is ARM LPC 2148 evaluation board or kit we have to use for execution purpose. Total 8 experiments. First one is we have to display hello world in UART. Second one, interface and control DC motor. Third one, stepper motor rotation. Then next, analog input is given, we have to get digital output by using ADC. Then next, DAC, experiment related to DAC, digital input with analog output. We have to give input digital, output is continuous wave. You have to get two types of waves, triangular and square wave. Next experiment is we have 4x4 keyboard. Display the key code on the LCD. We have to type some number in keyboard. Keyboard is present in your kit itself. That keyboard we have to use. If you are going to press any number, in that keyboard, you will get that save number in LCD screen. This is the experiment we have in hardware part. Demonstrate the use of external port to toggle an LED on and off. This is another experiment. Here we are going to use interrupt concept. We have one interrupt switch in kit or evaluation board. We are going to use that, and we are going to make LED on and off continuously. Then last experiment in hardware program is displaying hexa digits. Hexa digit means hexadecimal numbers. Hexadecimal numbers are 0 to F, 0 to 9, then A, B, C, D, E, F. These numbers we have to display in LED, 7 segment LED. That 7 segment LED also there in evaluation kit with delay. That means we have to maintain some delay between that two numbers. Between 0 and 1 we need to maintain some delay. Between 1 and 2 again we need to maintain some delay. The delay also we have to set, and we have to display that number in LED screen. These are the experiments are there in hardware programs. These programs we are going to see in next video lecture. So today video lecture we have to see software explanation. Here overall explanation we are going in this video lecture, because students already completed all software programs in their regular lab. All 8 experiments we completed, and we already explained, and you already responded for that 8 programs. Here we will go for brief thing about software. First experiment is aim. Write a program to multiply two 16-bit binary numbers. Here we have to consider two 16-bit binary numbers, and we have to multiply that, and answer we have to put in destination register. That means we have to consider one register as a destination. We have to consider 2 register as a source. 2 source register should contain that 2 numbers. Multiply that number, and answer, multiplication answer, we have to move it to destination register, and that destination register you have to show as a output. That destination register contains your multiplication answer. That's why you have to show that answer. Here we have the structure or execution window. In this execution window, disassembly window is there, and register window is there. Here memory window is there, and this is your working window. This, how to get this screen or how to get this execution window, we see in that in detail in the regular lab. So I am not going for that explanation. If you need that, definitely I will go for that explanation of execution process in the coming next video. Here this is the first experiment, multiplying 2 numbers. They given condition multiplying 16-bit number. That number either you can consider directly in the register or you can take in the memory. Here I considered second option, that is I taken one memory address and I am going to load data, input data inside that memory, and any operation between register and memory will happen by using 2 instructions, that is a load and store. I am going to use that load and store operation for this experiment. Initially I considered one memory address. In that memory address I loaded some data. What type of data I have to load? That data should be hexadecimal. Hexadecimal data I loaded here, and they given in the aim of the experiment that number should be 16-bit. So 16-bit number I have to consider, but how many space I have to go for? In the memory you can see this first space contain 1 2 number, that is 0 0. That means this space is 8-bit space. 0 0 means 8-bit space. Generally you know that hexadecimal number and binary number and decimal number concept. Here in order to go for one space we can fill 2 hexadecimal number. We can fill 2 hexadecimal number. That is 2 hexadecimal number means 8-bit number, and 4 hexadecimal number means that is 16-bit number. 8 hexadecimal number means that is 32-bit number. ARM works for 32-bit number. That's why all the register present in this window are 32-bit size. R0 to R14 plus R15 also. Here all these registers work for 32-bit. Again CPSR is a special purpose current program status register and saved program state register. This CPSR concept and SPSR concept we seen in the module 2. We have totally 13 general purpose register, that is starting from R0 to R12 we have general purpose register, you can use for any purpose, and R13 and R14 and R15 3 registers are special purpose. Again R13 is in bracket they given stack pointer, SP means stack pointer, R14 is a link register, R15 is program counter. These link registers, stack pointer, program counter are special purpose that contain address here, that also 32-bit size. So ARM works for 32-bit address or data. 32-bit means there are 8 hexadecimal number. That's why you can see the registers. Here we have 8 hexadecimal numbers. It starts with 0x, that means it is hexadecimal. 0x, x specifies your hexadecimal format. Here they given in the aim of the experiment, that is 16-bit number. So here memory, you can see in the memory 2 space we have to cover for one 16-bit number. Anyway I told in the previous, that is one number, one space means 8-bit. The given 16-bit number you have to consider as input, so we have to consider 2 space as a one number, another 2 space for another number, another 2 space for another number. If you are going to consider 32-bit, then 1 2 3 4 4 space is one number, because 32-bit number means 4 space here, because this is 8 8 8 8, totally 32-bit size. This is about memory window concept. Now I consider 2 numbers, 16-bit number in memory, and I loaded that number by using load instruction into register. Both numbers I loaded inside the register, then I multiplied and I got answer in destination register, that is R6. Once that number we got in R6, either you can place as it is in the register or you can store it back into memory, storing from register to memory. Here R6 we have data, you can specify another address, memory address, and again store whatever answer we got that is multiplication answer, we can store it back in another memory address. This is a very simple program we are using here. And here, in order to AND, we are using interrupt, that is software interrupt instruction SWI with number 0x11, hexadecimal 11. We are going to end that program. And this assembly window will show each execution line. And here this will specify your address, this will specify your machine code, and this is your instruction. So here whatever red color, that is instruction given by you, that is here written, you only written this, that is we can see here, and that is machine level language of this, that particular instruction is this one, and address where that instruction loaded in a memory, that is the thing we are going to see here, address. Once here in the register, input is there, output is there, address is there, everything we can see in the register. So this is about first experiment. We successfully completed that in regular class. We can go for second one. Aim. Write a program to find the sum of first 10 integer numbers. We have to add 10 numbers, that is 0 to 10 integer numbers we have to add. Once you added that, find out the final answer. For that we have to write program. That program should be low level language, that is assembly level language. We are going to write that low level or assembly level language program for this aim, that is find the sum of first 10 integer numbers. What is the concept? There is no much complex thing, only we have to find load one number, that is what is the highest number we have. They told first 10, so last number is 10. Store that in one register and keep on decreasing that and add that with previous number. Like 10 we have number, store that in one register and also that store in another register also. Keep on decreasing that, that is first register R1 contain 10, R2 contain again 10. Decrease R2, R2 minus 1, 9. First R1 is 10 is there, R2 is 9 is there, 10 plus 9, 19. Again decrease that R2. But one thing, previous whatever we got answer 19, that we have to store back to first R1. R1 contain now 19, R2 contain 9. Decrease R2 by 1, that is minus 1. Now R2 contain 8, R1 contain 19. So add this 8 R2 to R1, that is 19 plus 8. Same method you will going to continue till R2 reaches 0. Once R2 reaches 0, we will going to store that value, answer is there in R1, right? Either you can represent that as a answer present in R1, that is output, or you can store that in memory if you want. We will go for that. Here this is the register window, disassembly window, working window and memory window. We are not using any memory address here, so no need to go for memory part. Here it start with area, sum, code, read only. Here sum is user defined, area, code, read only is predefined. Entry is, again you can see the color, entry is actually it is predefined. And a loop, you can see this loop, that is user defined. Loop is user defined, you can change this name to any name because here this is user defined. Same name we are going to give here also. This is actually label. For branch instruction we are using one label, that label we are going to consider as here in this program we consider as loop. That is user defined, you can change that name. This program, aim of the program is sum of first 10 integer numbers. So take that whatever I concept explained now, 10 you have to store here and keep on decreasing that R1, then add and keep on add that number. Okay, either you here we use another method. R1 we have 10, R2 we have 0. Add R2 comma R2 comma R1. R2 we have 0, R1 we have 10, 10 plus 0, answer 10 is there in R2. Subtract R1 comma 1. Subtract S. S is there, SUBS, this S represent update the CPSR. That is update the CPSR means that concept we seen in the module 1. Also module 2. Here we have to subtract R1 minus 1. That is R1 we have 10 minus 1 9. That 9 we have to add to previous added answer. So that's why we have instruction B and E. Is that R1 0? No means it goes to branch not equal. At that time go to loop. If it is equal, go to next line. This will continue. Once your R1 reaches 0, then here equal to 0. Yes. So if not equal to 0, then go to loop. If it is equal to 0, go to next line. That is move R4 comma R2. R2 we have final answer. We are going to save in one register, that is R4. And that is the answer for this program. Again, this program is low level language and assembly level. Low level means assembly level language. In the 9th line, we are using SWI instruction, that is software interrupt instruction, with number 0x11. That is 0x represent hexadecimal number. Once this program is over, then you have to mention result and conclusion part. Now we are moving into another program. Write a program to find factorial of a number. So in this program, our aim is to find factorial. That factorial concept we already seen in the previous semesters, and that is a very basic concept, factorial of a number. But here, how we can write that program in low level? How to find out factorial of a number with assembly level language or low level language? That is our target. Here you can consider one number. I will consider one example. We have to find out 3 factorial. How to find out that factorial of 3? Example, that method is 3 into 2 into 1. That is a basic thing. You can find out the factorial by using 3 into 2 into 1. Like that, if you want to find out 5 factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. That's why store that number. Now example 5 factorial. Store 5 in one register and same number 5 store in another register R2. R1 also we have 5, R2 also we have 5. R2 minus 1, that is R2 contain 5 minus 1, now 4. Multiply that R1 into R2, 5 into 4. We are getting some answer. Store that in R1. Now R2 again minus 1, now 3. Previous multiplied answer is there in R1. Multiply that number with 3 and store that in R1 itself. Now R2 we have 3, right? Minus 1, now 2. Multiply this 2 R2 with previous that is R1. Like this we can continue to find factorial of a number. This is very easy method to find out. You can write program in your own way, but we have to use some of the instruction related to ARM, and condition is we have to write only program in assembly level language. Now here we are going for explanation of that program. Here we have very simple code, that is a assembly code. Now we will start that. Here we have disassembly window, register window, memory window. Again I am not going to use any memory address, so no need to go for memory. Here I considered one number, that is 8. I loaded that number in R0. Same number I am going to load in R1. Comparing R0 with 2. Why I am comparing R0 with 2? That is one big question. Why I am comparing R0 with 2? That is why I am comparing 8 with 2. Immediate next instruction here we have, once you compared, we have to go for this BLT, branch less than. If R0 is less than 2, then go to stop, otherwise go to next instruction. R0 is less than 2, we have to check, is that less than 2? No, it is more than 2, because R0 we have 8, that is more than 2. That's why we can get here repeat instruction. Subtraction, R1, R1, 01, we have to subtract what is value in the R1. R1 we have 8 minus 1, 7. Now you have to compare that, which one? R1. Here we have 7. That 7 is compared with 1. Is that equal? That's why we have to check here. BEQ. Is that equal? Here we have 7. Here we have 1. Is that equal? No. If it is equal, go to stop. That means we have to stop our program. If it is not equal, go to next instruction, that is multiply instruction. Multiply instruction will multiply your two numbers. Which number? One is R0, that is 8. And another number is R1, that is 7. 8 into 7. Answer is stored in R2. And again that answer is loaded in R0. Very simple concept. We can take number in R1, we can take number another same number in R2, keep on minus, keep on decrease that number in R2 and multiply that with R1 and store that in R1. Once that answer is over, that execution is over, R1 is the answer, final answer. So this is factorial of a number. If programmer needs, then that answer, final answer, you can store in memory. Otherwise we can store in only register. So this is the program for factorial of a number. Program number 4. Here write a program to add an array of 16-bit number and store the 32-bit result in internal RAM. Here add array of 16-bit number. We have to add 16-bit numbers. Array of numbers they told. So more than one or two numbers we have to consider. Series of numbers. But that should be 16-bit number. And store the 32-bit result. Because if you are going to add to 16-bit number, result may be 32-bit. Sometimes the result also 16-bit, but maybe result more than 16. That means you are adding 16-bit number. Many times you are getting 32-bit number itself. So that 32-bit number we have to store in RAM. That means in memory. We will see that concept here. This assembly window, register window, working window, or we have code here, and then this is your memory window. Here I have to consider memory. I am going to consider memory for this, because they given array of number we have to add. In the previous experiment I explained, here in the memory, here one space means 8-bit. They given add two 16-bit numbers. So here one we have 8-bit space, here one 8-bit space. That combinedly that is 16-bit space. So two space in the memory, that is one number, 16-bit number. Like that you can take another 16-bit number. Like that take another 16-bit number. That array size you can decide, decided by the programmer. Any array size you can consider. Presently I considered array size is 5. Here I have to consider that many numbers. Now number also given in the memory, that as a input, that address I taken in the code. Here I am going to load that first number inside one register, and here I considered first number, then you have to go for second number. So you have to go for second number means you have to increment the pointer. How many times you have to increment? Initially we have here, then we have to go for here for second number. That's why you have to increment twice. That's why we added #02 here. Twice we are going to increment. Then load that second number also inside the register. Add that first number with second number, because here we have to add series of 16-bit number. First number is added with second number. Here we are going for adding operation. Then store that in one register, that is R2. Immediately you have to decrease the array size. Initially we have array size is 5. We completed one operation, right? So you are moving another pointer is incrementing. That's why you have to decrement array size. Operation is over. You have to continue this adding operation. First number with second number. Then answer is added with third number. That answer is added with fourth number. That answer is added with fifth. Like this we have to continue. Till when we have to continue? Till array size becomes 0. Here array size is 5. When R1 becomes 0, then your operation will end. Here once operation is end, we have to store that answer, added answer, into memory. That concept we are going to use store instruction. Store, str is the instruction for storing your number from register to memory. Your number answer is there in R2. Store that in R0. R0 contain address of your memory, destination address. Here in the memory you can see, here we have our answer. Our adding answer, added answer we have here. So this is the concept, adding 16-bit numbers, series of array of 16-bit number, and store that answer in memory itself. You have to use memory, because in the aim of the experiment they given use internal RAM. That's why you have to use this memory concept. Then next program, write a program to find a square of a number using lookup table. Here square of a number they told, but in bracket they given 1 to 10. So consider here in the laboratory you have to consider only between 1 to 10, select any one number and find out the square. That is the meaning of this. Any number between 1 to 10. Don't consider more than 10. So that is the meaning here. Using lookup table. What is the concept of lookup table in low level language? We will see that concept here. Register window contain all the values. Here this is the working window. Is that memory is required? Yes, memory window is required. Here they given concept called lookup table. So you can see this. Here we have lookup table concept. Initially programmer should load all the square of a number in series, in order. We have to store in memory. That memory is data memory. You can see here area, data table, comma data, comma read only. This is the data memory we are using. There we are going to store all the square of a number. Here I considered 0 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square. Only 5 I considered. You can consider up to 10, because in the aim of the experiment they given 1 to 10, any number you can choose. So you can continue this till 10 square. Here another one, this is the main code we have. Thing is, you are going to take one number. This 1 I considered, I want square of a 1. Move that number, which number square you want, that number we are moving into one register. and we are going to perform some operation here. Here complete thing is you are going to store your square of a number in data memory, and you are going to find which number you want to find out the square. That number we are going to store in one register and perform some operation. Get that number, get square of that particular number from data memory into your register. That is the concept here. We know the square, we have to know square of a number, we have to store in data memory initially. This concept is called lookup table. Here no need to use any address in the main code, that is code memory. We have to use this address or memory window for data memory. This is the concept for square of a number using lookup table. Program number 6. Write a program to find largest smallest number in array of 32-bit number. We have to find largest number or smallest number. Array of number is given. In that array of numbers we have to find which one is a large, which one is small number. But array of 32-bit number, that means array should contain each number size should be 32-bit. That is the meaning of this 32 number. Here disassembly window, register window, memory window and working window. Memory window we have to use here. Thing is largest and smallest number we have to find out. That's why give the numbers as a input in the memory. Consider one address and give your number inside the memory. Any number you can consider, but what is the size of the array you have to mention in the code. Here I consider 6. Here I have to consider that many numbers. Now I have to start. You know basic concept of how to find out largest and smallest number. Just comparison. Here same thing we are going to use in code also. First number we have to take. First number means 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space. 4 spaces in the memory will include first number. Next 4 space is another number. Like that we have to consider array of numbers, series of numbers. Now first number is compared with second number. First number is 2, second number is 8. Which one is large? That number, out of this which one is large, that number we are going to store in one register. Now here 8 is large, so I have to store this 8 in one register. Then that number is compared with third number, 8 and 5. If this number is large, store this number or replace whatever we stored in the previous, we stored 8, right? In that place we have to replace this number if it is large. But this number is small, so neglect that. Only 8 is large now. Now go to next number. Previous highest number is 8, now compared with 3. If that 8 is large means neglect this, go to next number 5. 8 and 5 is compared. 8 is itself large, so go to next number. 8 and 6, 8 itself large, register, keep it as it is. Then next we have to compare 8 and 7. Here answer is 8 itself because 8 is large. After comparison also 7 is small, 8 is large. So answer present in register now is 8. That we have to store in memory as a answer. So you can see this is your answer, final largest number. Like this we have to change smallest number also. Only one line you have to change for this. BHI, instead of BHI we are using BLS. Only one line you have to change. Here branch if high, there we have to use branch if low. Only that change we have to do in this program and that program. This is this highest number, another program lowest number. Program number 7. Write a program to arrange a series of 32-bit number in ascending and descending order. Here they given write a program, arrange a series of 32-bit number. That means you have to consider numbers randomly, series of number randomly, and arrange that number in ascending or descending format by using low level language program. You have to write program for that. We have example here. Here we have code. That code is completely written to find out the ascending part. Here we will start. First we have to load some numbers, random numbers, but they given in here 32-bit numbers. So here you have to acquire 4 space for one number in the memory. That means 8 hexadecimal numbers means 32-bit number. That's why here 1 space is 8-bit number. Like that 4 space we have to cover. 1 space, 2nd space, 3rd space. That means 3rd number, 4th number, 5th number, like that. How many numbers you are going to consider in memory, that array size you have to mention in code also. Here 5 is the array size I considered. Now address where I loaded data, that you have to mention in that is loaded in R2, and take first number inside some register. Taking from number from memory to register is a load, and register to memory, any number moving means that is store. Now I am taking that first number. Here basic concept is, here we have first number. I have to arrange in ascending format. First number and second number I have to compare. Now one thing is, we collected first number now into register. Then in order to go for second number, how many times you have to increment from first number to second number? Our first number start from this space. Then our second number start from this space. Here to here, how many times you have to increment? 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times you have to increment, because that is the number is 32-bit. Here first number and second number is compared, because we are going to use ascending format. Compare that two numbers. Now once you compare, is that first number is less than second number, then keep it as it is, because we are arranging in ascending order. If first number is more than second number, then swap that number. Now here no change. Go for second option, 5 and 6. Here 6 is the second number. Here we have 5. 5, 6. Once you compare, any change is there? No, it is in ascending order itself. 5 is less, 6 is more. No need to change. Again 6 is there, 6 is there. No need to change, same number. Suppose here we have 7, here we have 6. At that time we have to swap, because here 7 we have to move it to here, 6 we have to move it to here, then only we are getting ascending format. So this is your moving or arranging numbers in ascending and descending format. Number should be 32-bit number. Here change is ascending format you have to arrange means one line changes there. Descending format you have to change means again one line changes there. That line is 11th line. Here BLT means branch less than, BGT means branch greater than. There we have to use another program, we have to use greater than. Here we have to use less than. Only that is the change between this program and that program. Another program is, write a program to count the number of ones and zeros in 2 consecutive memory locations. How to find out the number of ones and zeros? Here where we are getting that number, how many number of zeros and how many number of ones, where we are getting that count. Here I will consider one number 3. That 3 having how many zeros and how many ones, that we have to find out. Just consider, I already told in the previous slides, Here in the ARM we are using 32-bit instruction size, 32-bit data size. Here data is 3 means that 3 size is 32-bit. 32-bit size means we have 8 hexadecimal numbers. 32 binary numbers, that means 32-bit number, binary numbers. You know generally 3 contains how many ones and how many zeros. 0 0 is 0, 0 1 is 1, 1 0 is 2, 1 1 is 3. In binary format 1 1 means 3. So 3 contain 2 number of ones, remaining are zeros. When you are going for 32-bit size, same thing, 2 number 1, remaining 30 number zeros. That count we have to find out here. Number of zeros are 30, number of ones are 2. That count we have to find out by using low level language. Here in 2 consecutive memory location, we will see that program here. Here I considered one program to find out number of zeros and ones. Here again another concept is used, that is memory part. If you need this, easily you can build this program. That means you can write one address here and take input in that memory part, and you can load that data from memory to register. This concept also you can use. Otherwise directly you can give number, input number in code itself, in particular register. Any one of the concept you can use. Here I considered, I loaded data, input data in memory, and I considered that data as a input, and I am going to load that data from memory to register here. Load concept and store concept I used here in this program. Now here basic thing is we have to use rotate write extended, RRX concept. Here in the line 10 we are using that RRX, rotate write extended. That concept we are going to see in barrel shifter. Barrel shifter concept we seen in the module 2 and module 1. Instruction related to barrel shifter is there in module 2. RRX is a rotate write extended. By using this instruction, we are going to rotate our 32-bit number. Each rotation, there we are going to use one, in the right side we are going to use one carry box. There in that carry box, number we are getting, after rotating we are getting some number in carry box, depend on that carry box. That means which number is there in that carry box, depend on that we are going to decide is that 0 or 1. If it is 0, increment your 0th register. If that carry box contain number 1, then increment your 1, whichever register considered for your 1, right, that register you have to increment. This concept is a very easy concept. By that we are going to get, at the end we are going to get how many number of zeros and how many number of ones. Here you can see move R1, 0x20, 20. What is the 20 means? We are going to consider 32-bit number, 32 in decimal, but 20 in hexadecimal. Okay, that is just conversion, 32 in hexadecimal. And here I consider number 3. Okay, 3. So here 1D, R3 contain 1D, R2 contain 3. Here what is the number I have to consider? That number is 7. 7 is the input. You know what is the zeros and number of ones in 7? 7 contain 3 ones, remaining all are zeros, right? So this is the answer. R2 contain 3 ones, R3 contain 1D. That means 1D is the hexadecimal format, but decimal format we have how many numbers? 29. 29 zeros and 3 ones. This is the concept we have in program number 8. By that we are going to complete this all software programs. Anyway, we seen these programs in our lab, regular lab, in detail with neat explanations, and you already responded for that in very good manner. In the coming video lecture, I am going for software is over, that's why hardware programs one by one program I will explain in coming video lecture. Thank you.